There's been a lot of discussion lately about Pete Buttigieg, partially because he's polling better. And also because he got a ton of speaking time in the last Democratic debate, way more speaking time as we analyzed than the level of polling support he had at the time would have predicted. And this is yet another sign that the establishment and corporate legacy media are interested in pushing the establishment centrist candidates over other candidates. But what I want to talk about today is how pushing Buttigieg is actually a really safe thing to do for the establishment and corporate media. Because you might think, hold on a second, if the establishment wants a centrist, they should be pushing Biden. He's already leading in the polls. And you might think, not unreasonably, if the establishment starts pushing Mayor Pete, that could take away support from Joe Biden. And it could lead to a Bernie nomination, or it could lead to a Warren nomination. So it's risky for the establishment to divide support between Buttigieg and Biden if what they ultimately want to do is prevent Bernie or Warren from being the nominees, which I think is pretty clear is what they want to do. But I don't believe this is the way it's actually going to play out, partially because remember that the primary process doesn't happen all at once, and partially because people getting comfortable with Buttigieg helps them get comfortable with Biden too. So I'll explain to you how this all works. As a reminder, Pete Buttigieg is now polling an average of between about 11 and 12, including in one poll, 16%, way up. He was at 4%, 4.5% a few months ago. So he has roughly tripled his support. Now, in the meantime, we have seen both Bernie and Elizabeth Warren fall in the polls. Here is how pushing Buttigieg is safe for the establishment. And in the end, it probably helps Biden retain his spot at the top of the polling. By pushing Buttigieg, the establishment is generally pushing establishment centrism over the ideology of folks like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. So once you are in the mindset, once you're in the universe of considering Pete Buttigieg, his general ideology becomes sort of your status quo starting point, almost a foregone conclusion. But you might start to say, I'm all in with Buttigieg's ideology, but is he electable? Is he too young? Does he have enough experience merely having been mayor of South Bend, Indiana? But that's the strategy. If you become comfortable with Buttigieg on policy, thanks to the establishment pushing him, and you vote for him in a primary, and maybe he wins some early primaries and has a path to the nomination, even if he doesn't win, your natural transition is to Joe Biden. Once you're in the universe of centrism, once you've bought that bill of goods as the ideology that you want to support for the Democratic primary, if you start to question Buttigieg because of his lack of experience or age or other factors, and then you say, I'm going to look for somebody else, the obvious choice becomes Biden. Biden is a centrist like Buttigieg with more experience and having held more prominent political office. And what I mean, by the way, but when I say the obvious choice is Biden, I don't mean the obvious choice for me. I don't mean the obvious choice for progressives. I mean, once you want centrism, but with more experience than Mayor Pete, it's a very easy transition to go over to supporting Joe Biden. Going Buttigieg to Bernie or even Buttigieg to Warren is less of a smooth transition. And this is why corporate legacy media pushing Pete Buttigieg, where it's unclear if Biden's got it together, his performances in debates haven't been good, it's win-win. Either you push Buttigieg as the Biden alternative and prevent people from going to Warren or Bernie, or you simply are pushing centrism, and in the end, you end up reinforcing Joe Biden. And really what you want to do, if you're the establishment, corporate legacy media, and the DNC insiders, you want to deny Bernie the nomination. You want to deny Elizabeth Warren the nomination. Let me know what you think. This is how I am increasingly seeing it. Send me a tweet at @Pakman. Leave me a reply as a comment if you're watching on YouTube. The next video is coming soon, but before you go to that, please hit subscribe and like. We're running a test. We believe that if everybody does this, this will hugely boost us in YouTube's algorithm, and then everybody wins. I'll report back to you how this works. Make sure before you go on to that next video, hit subscribe, hit like. Thank you so much.